Next time, that's all they think every moment of the day. Absolutely. One of the giveaways, by the way, these are the only people who sell on price. Nobody else should sell on price, okay? So McDonald's would be driven by operational excellence. And it starts to tell you something else. I went into a company called Thin Forest a while back. They have responsibility for exploiting all the forests in Finland. So they sell timber and they sell wooden products. And I was talking to the chief executive and I said, so give me an idea, what sort of metrics do you need to achieve in your business? And he said, well, for example, our biggest customer is a company called B&Q. They're a do-it-yourself chain. He said they've got 364 sheds throughout the whole of Europe. We have to deliver to a 2-hour window, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 364 days a year. Bonus. But we're going to achieve our target this year, which is 99.007. And I spent 5 days in that company, and believe me, every single person in that company spoke in 3 decimal places. Companies would be another one, driven by operational excellence. Low cost budget chain of budget hotels. Every single room they've got in the world is identical. 15 minutes, 12 seconds to 12 minutes, 2 seconds, and that has saved us $14 million. That's the way they think. If you are driven by operational excellence, that's the way you think. It's all about the process and understanding in intimate detail, not just the cost of every transaction, but the profitability, and you sell on price. Okay? The next one then is product leadership, and the essence here is pushing the boundaries of the market with innovative products and processes. Worth pointing out, it isn't necessarily your products that have to be innovative, it might be the process. You know, Amazon have totally changed the way we buy books because they came out with a new process. Not a new product, but a new process. And these are the characteristics you'll see. Technically, it wasn't all that clever, but the whole world was queuing up to buy one at any price at all. Unbelievable. I've just bought that. I changed from PC to Apple about 3 years ago, which in itself was remarkable because it's many orders of magnitude better. But I just bought that. I mean, that cost me probably 4 times more than what I could have paid for a PC. But I love it. I mean, I keep stroking it because I love it. You never, ever sell on price because it's all about something in marketing terms which is called product surround. I am prepared to pay more for that because of what I perceive to be, perception is everything, what I perceive to be a technically advanced product. What other companies would fit this? .3M would be an example. 3M have got 90,000 people, and you talk to any one of those 90,000 people and all they talk about is ideas. The whole culture is about ideas, spew out ideas all the time. There's a massive toleration of failure. They know 90% of the ideas will be nonsense. But someone comes up with the sticky stuff, and they say, what should we do with that? And they invent the post-it note. That's how it works in 3M. The whole business. But this is starting to tell you something else, you know, and that's all about the management style you need and the type of employees you need. For heaven's sake, the last thing you want. You want them to do exactly what they're told, just like you've told them and trained them to do it. A military operation. This is exactly the opposite. Because you've got a massive toleration of failure. You want to employ free thinkers. You want to employ people who are coming up with ideas. You need a management style which is able to handle that. So fundamentally different. The last one then is customer intimacy, and the SM, what they most value. And the characteristics you'll see are these. types of business will be driven by customer intimacy?
Software.
Sorry?
Software.
Yeah, I mean basically the whole of the service industry. Retail, the high street, with the exception of the discount end. The discount end of the high street would be operational excellence. Everything else, it has to be this. And again, you don't sell on price because it's all about perception. It's all about these products around. I am buying these products from this company because subconsciously they are intimate with me, they understand what I want, I feel comfortable dealing with that company, and frankly I am prepared to pay more as a result. Okay, let me just show you, we've got 5 minutes before quiz for each of these businesses, eh? One of the three is the driver.
But it cannot offer the lowest budget.
If you've read that, you will expect the lowest prices. It isn't. It's operational excellence. And all the budget airlines are driven by operational excellence. Let's be honest, they don't care about customers. Customers are totally unimportant to budget airlines because you're using them because of the lowest price. I think the most blatant is Ryanair, you know, the Irish one. I saw him on television the other day being interviewed because they are now charging more for children and disabled people. I mean, it's horrendous. Horrendous. And they interviewed him and they said, why are you charging more for disabled people? And he said, because we don't want them. I mean, he's honest. And the bit he didn't say, of course, was because that lowers our operational excellence, therefore we don't want them. I mean, that's the way. Fernandez, it's getting close. And you see, that's, I mean, if budget airlines are no longer the cheapest, we will go somewhere else because we're not prepared to be treated like that unless we're paying the lowest price. And what's starting to happen now is, certainly in Europe and in certain parts of Asia, is the budget airlines are no longer the cheapest. And that's the end of the budget airlines, frankly. But whilst they were making hay, you know, the way they think is all about saving money and operational excellence. EasyJet worked out that replacing the safety instructions in the pocket took, I think it was 5 seconds on every flight. So they multiplied that up by the number of flights in a year, and they said that was, I can't remember the figure now, but it was, you know, $9 million or something. So they've sewed the safety instructions on the back of the seat in front. That's the way you think if you're driven by operational excellence. All the time you're thinking about how you can improve your process, how you can improve the profitability of your process. Okay? It certainly isn't. We'll come to that in a moment. Let's get through these advertisements and then we can have a really interesting discussion, I hope. Okay. কিছু লাগবে আপনাদের এখানে নতুন কি এসেছে এই যে সব জায়গায় কথা বলা যায় হ্যাঁ গান শোনো পছন্দ হয়েছে নেবে একটু বড় হলেই কিনবো কারো প্রয়োজনই আমাদের কাছে ছোট নয় এমনকি সেও যে এখন আমাদের কাস্টমার হয় দেশ জুড়ে ৫-৬টিরও বেশি থানায় সিটিসেল কাস্টমার কেয়ার আপনাদের সবার সেবায় I guess they're your...
I think if the customer is both, it's a product and...
That might surprise you. But most mobile phone companies sell on product. Most of them are selling on technology. they're trying to sell it on the customer intimacy as well, and I'm not sure, to be honest, what the message is that they're coming across at.
It's like servicing outlets
Okay.
all across the country, and they're saying that nobody's requirements or needs are unimportant to us,
Okay.
even those who are not our clients.
So you see, I would argue that is, I think most mobile phone makers, as I say, are selling on product and process excellence. Okay.
That's who we answer to. Joy is youthful. Joy inspires works of art. It is collectible and shapes the future. Joy has a fan club. It's contagious and it can even be counted. Joy is efficient, dynamic, and unstoppable. We realized a long time ago that what you make people feel is just as important as what you make. And at BMW, we don't just make cars, we make joy.
Never once in that entire advert did they talk about the product at all. It's all about customer intimacy. They talked about joy. It's all about how it makes you feel. They didn't talk about the performance of the car. They didn't talk about the price of the car. All of it was about joy. Now, I can remember, because I don't die, I can remember when I first started doing business in Germany, a BMW was the lowest car there was. Nobody wanted a BMW. It was a salesman's car. And I have great admiration for what BMW have done in that 30 years since then, because BMW have managed to get the whole world, more or less, to aspire to have that car on their drive and pay silly money for it. The Ford Focus was superior. The technology was better, the performance was better, the environment, because we buy irrationally. We will pay an awful lot of money for that customer intimacy. One of the things that's been happening out there through the recession in the West and in Japan, and the most easiest one to mention is hotels. Yeah, hotels at the top end, they haven't even noticed there's been a recession. You know, Banyan Tree and Savoy, they just carry on as ever. And at the bottom end, they're doing very well indeed. Travelling, premiering, Formula One, they're all investing. It's the people in the middle that suffer, and that's always the case in a recession. And what you see is hotel chains like Hilton, for example, who are set up based upon customer intimacy. They have overheads based upon a dangerous thing to do, because you are not set up to sell on price, and they simply cannot compete with the operationally excellent hotel chains. Mahir?
They didn't speak out verbally about their product or how good is their product, but they have showed all their top brands. And other thing is, I buy BMW because that car is good. I don't know who sell it, and the seller is not coming to me. I go to them.
Absolutely.
I buy the car.
Absolutely.
So it feels why I'm buying. It's the product is market leader.
That is your
So
perception.
for BMW,
As I said,
actually
sorry.
buying, the perception
Yeah.
is that you're buying a part of esteem. You are uplifting your status.
That's right.
This is the customer's perception, and they're encashing on that.
Absolutely. And as I said,